Hey. Here's the deal. This entire healthcare debate has really gone off its hinges. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I can support anymore, and this is what I mean. I mean, is is there a serious problem with the current system in the United States and how that's functioning? Absolutely. Anybody who says otherwise is an absolute fool. Um, uh, does that mean that we should be going to a universal healthcare system? I don't know. There's statistics that'll prove your case, whatever you support, either way. So it doesn't matter. Um, so what it comes to again is it comes to a whole lot of like what you believe is true. Okay, what are your sources for whatever, and what do you currently have as healthcare? Um, I know that I speak I've spoken to people. Uh, I've spoken to people who live in England or have lived in England. And Canada. People who live here, uh, mostly middle of the road, middle of the road white people like myself, who have a decent job, um, and you know, I personally I'm not really complaining about my healthcare. Okay. Um, I have a very decent job, and the people that I work for assume a lot of responsibility for my health care, which the cost of which is astronomical, and which has gone up 50% in the past year. They assumed a huge blow of this, and they were able to, the people that work for have a lot of clout, and were able to bargain. A lot of people have small businesses, or you cannot bargain with these. You can't bargain with insurance companies. You can't unless you have a lot of clout, and the company I work for does have a lot of clout. And I have excellent health care. However, a lot of people don't, and I remember not having health care. I remember not, and I know what the cost of uninsured health care is. And if something had happened to me, I would probably be in debtor's prison. It would be the price of which is it would just be so astronomical. I mean, obviously, there's no real debtor's prison in the United States. However, it is absolutely astronomical. However, I just recently saw another video from Confederal Socialist where he's posting, all this stuff about the ridiculousness of the UK's healthcare system, and he has some very good points. They were right on. There's no more doctors per 1,000 people in the United States than there is over there. He makes several good points about the American Medical Association and stuff like that, and then he starts to talk about the amount of free market, because we don't actually have the free market. That if we did have the actual free market, actual freedom would allow for, more people would strive to be doctors because there'd be money in it, and then you would want to go there. Here's the sad news for all of you who have this grand illusion that about this. The doctors are screwing you. They're absolutely screwing you. I have sources within the medical community. I know people personally within the medical community. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter whether the United States would go to a single payer, if they would consider a public option or some sort of pooled option or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you don't have an insurance, some sort of excellent insurance, the doctors are screwing you over, and purposely. And you know why they're doing it? Because they're not getting a bonus. The only difference between the money that they make with an HMO and the money that they make on something like Blue Cross or another nationally known, very prominent healthcare, is simply the bonus that the insurance company is giving the doctor to choose them, and then the doctor is making the choice to push anybody who is not on there, like an HMO. If you live in Pennsylvania, it's something like Keystone or something like that. They're pushing you off to, if they see you at all, some ridiculous time that you can't see, and the doctors are choosing to do this. Okay, so it doesn't matter. You can flood the doctors with as many as you want. The change does not have to just come from the government and from or the free market, or from however this is taking place. It needs to take place within the medical community as well, because if it doesn't, there will never be any change in the system how it is now. Even if there is a national healthcare system, people will still be getting screwed because the doctors are screwing you. They're screwing you straight up. And the sooner you wake up to that, the sooner you will realize that this debate is completely ridiculous, because there's no debate over what's happening with the doctors. These doctors are still getting bought out, and as much as I like Obama, he's already signed on to the big pharma, so he's already got them bought off, and he's probably going to do that with too, which is probably why he's going to go for. He's not going to go for single payer or universal health care. He's going to go for an option that you can buy into, like a public option, which is decent. But you know what? It doesn't really matter what's going to happen. It's awful now, but we'll see what happens coming up. We'll see. We're all getting screwed anyway. You'll continue to get screwed until the end of time, and so it really doesn't matter.